Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I am going to get ready while talking about meeting the sturniolo triplets, which is still a weird thing for me to say, and I just feel like I need to tell everybody, you know? So now it's Tuesday morning. My mom and I are taking my one cat Darby to the vet because he's got this hideous, well, he had this hideous bump on his foot, and one of the other cats like cut it open. So we were taking him to the vet to see like if we could get it taken off and everything. Well, on the way there, we get off the highway. Lo and behold, there's a white, gray, and black bus chilling outside of a hotel. And I'm like, not even thinking about it. Whose tour buses are these? And then it hit me. I was like, these sturniolo triplets. Are we kidding? So I accidentally found out where they were staying. And I went into panic mode. Didn't know what to do with myself. I'm SOSing my friend Sydney. I'm SOSing my friend Danielle. Not quite sure what Sydney was doing from Pittsburgh, but I SOS'd her anyway. And Sydney's freaking out with me. Danielle's not answering, and Danielle lives close to me, so I'm like, she's the best option I got. So we take my cat to the vet. I decide I'm gonna see if like, because I don't know where they are. I don't know if they're staying, if they're still there, if they're out exploring Philly. All I know is that their buses are here in Philly. I ended up seeing them walk from the hotel into their tour bus, and I panicked. I didn't go say hi. My friend Danielle kept telling me to go say hi, and I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm sorry, but I can't. And I didn't. So that's fine, because I didn't want to say hi. So that happens on Tuesday. Wednesday is officially the day that I'm meeting them. So I was meeting my friend Sydney over at Miller Theater, which I've never met Sydney a day in my life till Wednesday. That Wednesday that I met the boys was the first time I met her also. So she was staying across the street at the hotel, so I went over. We were hanging out, freaking out, panicking. I low-key didn't want to go. I was terrified to meet the triplets, and I'm not quite sure why, because it was fine. So we go over at like 2:30. We're waiting in line. We didn't want to be first, but we also like didn't want to be last. So we kind of like there was like 50 people in front of us. So it was a really good spot, and I really actually enjoyed the spot that we were at. We got bracelets from like fans. We got our diamond passes. The one girl came around where it was like, anonymous confessions and like put in your questions and whatnot. So it was also freezing, by the way. I was cold. It was windy. We were in the shade on the side of the building. We almost got smacked with the door a couple of times because people kept coming out of the side doors like full force. And I was like, I'm gonna leave with a concussion. The amount of panic that I felt the entire day was ridiculous. Okay, ridiculous. I was dramatic. I was everything. So they let us in. I didn't realize, like, when you walked right up the steps and like turned, they were like steps that went up and like curved when you got to the top. And I didn't realize as soon as you curved up and around that the boys were right there and we were meeting them. So I'm like thinking we got like long ways to go. No, we don't. So the line starts moving, and I'm like, Sydney, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm freaking out. It was brutal. Like, the waiting was brutal, and I hated every minute of it. So we get to the top, and they have it like blocked off. There's like curtains and stuff, and I'm like, holy crap, the boys are right there. So I'm turning around to talk to the girl behind me to tell her like, hey, the boys are right here when you get up the step. I turn around to go ask Sydney if I looked okay. She was gone. Girl was gone in meeting Nick, Matt, and Chris. I was like, holy crap. Holy crap. I was not prepared at all to be just like thrown into it, but I like don't know what else I expected. So I turn around and ask the same people behind me, I'm like, do I look okay? They're like, you look great, like you got this. And I'm like, thanks. I don't feel like I do. The girl, she's blonde hair, I'm pretty sure her name's Kylie, I think. I follow her on Instagram, but I low-key forget her name. She was like, you can just put your stuff down, because the guy who was getting our stuff wasn't right there. And I was like, okay, shaking, putting my jacket and my purse down. She's like, okay, next. Panicking. I will say, I did put my phone in my back pocket recording, and that girl seen it, and I thought she was gonna stop me. Like, after I watched it back, I definitely thought she definitely looked like she was about to stop me and be like, turn your phone off, but Nick was already hugging me and saying hi. So soon, here's the good part.
Hi, how are you? Good, how are you? So good. Nice to meet you. Hello. Alright, are you ready? No, but... Let's do it.
So curtain opened, Nick was right there, arms wide open. I was like, shit, this is happening. Okay, so now I'm really panicking. And he goes, I said hi. He goes, hi, and I was like, hi, how are you? And he like talked over me. So he like asked me how I was. I was like, good, how are you? Like, you can hear it. I don't remember it happening, but like in my video you can hear it. So I was like, mm. And then Matt, I remember looking at Matt and being like, this man's real. This man's real. I looked him right in the eye and I was like, oh my god, he's real? Nick, Matt, and Chris are real? But yeah, so I like walked, so then I made eye contact with Matt. Holy crap, he's real. And he was like, nice to meet you. And I was like, you too. And then Chris, I just remember looking at Chris and not a thought was in my head. Like, nothing. Okay, which I'm not surprised. Chris is my favorite. Man makes me nervous. So looking at him, there was not a thought. And he was like, hey. And I was like, hi. I actually don't remember what I said. But I remember Chris saying, all right, are you ready? And I go, no, but. And it was Chris and Matt who said, I don't know who said who, but one was like, you got this. Let's do this, or something like that. I also got like Nick playing with the plant in my video, and I'm pretty sure I thought it was Chris for the longest time who said it, but when I listened to my video the other day, Matt goes, it was nice to meet you, and I was like, you too, and like you can see them as I'm walking out my video. And I just remember coming out of that little bubble and looking right at Sydney, and I was like, what just happened? Like, we just met the Sturniolos. What is going on? Me and her are like freaking out. I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself. She's like, oh, I got my picture. I was like, crap, crap, crap. I'm crossing my fingers. I don't look demented. And I look okay. And I actually looked okay. I love my picture. The boys just look gigantic and I look like this big. They were definitely taller than I expected, but I'm also 5 foot, so everybody's taller than me. So I don't know if they're actually tall or if I'm just really short. The amount of people who swiped up on my story and was like, are you really short or are they really tall? It's like, I'm probably really short. I was like, so don't think they're tall men. But they were next to me. It was pretty funny. Everyone just kept telling me how tiny I looked. The service in Miller Theater blows and they need to get it fixed. So after we met the boys, we just sat and didn't know what to do with ourselves. We were in line for merch actually. And we just kept looking at each other like, what did we just do? I still can't believe it's been, what, a month? Yeah, it's been a month. No, tomorrow will be a month. And I still can't believe I met Nick, Matt, and Chris. I don't honestly think I'll ever believe it. I just kept telling people there wasn't a picture I wouldn't have believed that I met the boys. It was just so fast because I also got a tattoo for them. I got Let's Trip tattooed on the inside of my lip, but it faded, so I got it on my ankle. and I really wanted to show them, but it wasn't a thought in my head, and I feel like I wouldn't have had time, and I definitely probably would have got yelled at, even though I know some people did do that, but that just was not a thought in my head as I was sitting there meeting the boys. I didn't have any thoughts besides the ones that I just said. So then we got merch, and I hadn't eaten in like 24 hours. I didn't eat at all Tuesday because I was just seeing the boys threw me through a loop, and then eating Wednesday was not going to happen because it probably would have came back up because I was so nervous. So yeah, we got our merch, we sat down, then we got up to go get chips and a drink, and while we were standing in line, the boys were leaving the meet and greet. So I have a video of them walking out. I was like, we just came at the right time. Like, what is with me in this right timing thing? Like, it was freaking me out because, you know, I seen the boys at the hotel, and then they're walking out of meet and greet. I just couldn't handle it all. I can tell you right now, I was very dramatic about the whole thing. Meeting the boys was probably the easiest thing ever, and I would do it every day if I could. I don't know why I was so nervous. I guess just the fact that, like, I've never met them before. I don't really know how they are in person. Not that I think that they would be a jerk or anything. So we got our chips and stuff, and we sat down. We did sound check together. Then the show and everything, which I had a complete blast. I don't think I've had that much fun in a very long time. I also never leave my house. I don't ever leave my house. I don't really do anything. So leaving the house, meeting Sydney, and meeting the boys was like the most exciting thing I think I've done this year. Currently filming this May 8th, by the way, okay? So nothing exciting in my life besides that. But I had a complete blast. I loved the show. I loved everything that they did with the tour. I know a lot of people didn't really like the concept and what they were doing, but I had a blast and I thought it was funny. And I never laughed so hard at them being idiots, essentially. Then after the show, we were going outside to the tour buses, and there was 2 tour buses like parked along the one street. There were so many people, and we were like, we'll just stand on the corner and just see them when they come, like when the bus is pulling out. So we were waiting in Sydney's hotel that she was staying at, and somebody posted their actual black tour bus, because there's 3 buses total, and they stay on one. And it was in the alley that we were originally like standing in for the show. So we walked across the street, but like to where we were across the street, and the alley was in front of us. So we were like literally how I'm looking at you guys right now. And the bus was coming out. It actually took a little for them to come out. I don't remember them actually coming out of the building, which is funny. Maybe I missed them coming out of the building and that's why I don't remember. But I know they were cutting across traffic, so the cops were like moving people. I'm like, oh my god, they're coming out. Well, we were like the only people, me, Sydney, and her friend Allie were like the only people standing across the street. And they were pulling out, waving to fans. And Matt eyeballs us. He's like this, waving to somebody else. Looks at us, points, and waves. I was like, I'm on the floor. I think Chris and Matt were in the front of the bus. And I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. So in my video, I'll probably put all the videos after I'm talking about it. If I'm not lazy, I'll put it in it. Matt pointed at us. You can tell we were freaking out because my video goes sideways and it's not even on the bus anymore. And then they leave. I hated that. And then me, Sydney, and Allie went to Wawa. We got some food. and then I dropped them back off at their hotel. And then Nick, Matt, and Chris posted their photo dump. They went to Penn, I think, because they were in the outfits that they left the venue in, but they were standing outside of Penrose Diner, so I would think they went to Penrose Diner after the Philly show, which hurts my soul because I was a bridge away. Hurts my soul. We didn't know anything, but I think they went to Penrose Diner, which hurts my freaking soul. Of course, I got home, had to put on my merch for the night because I bought some merch. I had my poster out on the floor to, you know, flatten it out. Just fine all night because I had like 10 books on it. I had just taken my books off to put it in my picture frame, and my dog stretched and put a hole in it. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Gotta be kidding me. So now I have a poster on my wall with holes in it from her paws. And then I went and printed 3 copies of the photo with the boys. I printed 3 because I didn't know if the 8x10 was going to come out okay. So I did a 5x7 or 4x6. So I currently have, there's one right here, I have one right here, and then I have one over there. Thank you guys so much for getting ready with me while talking about the triplets. If you are watching this and you are a Sturniolo fan, please comment down below and say hi. And if you guys have any suggestions with what you want to see on my YouTube channel, leave them down below and I'll get it out to you. Thank you guys so much for watching.